When you think of bacteria, we have a negative connotation, right? I think of, you get sick and you need an antibiotic. Bacteria generally are thought of as bad. Think about antibacterial hand soap and hand sanitizer. We kill off the bacteria, right? Because the bacteria are dangerous and they're going to make us sick. And while that is true, there is a lot of bacteria that can make us sick, and there are a lot of bacteria that are not good for us. Not all bacteria are bad. Some are actually very, very good for us. So we have a bunch of bacteria living in our gut, like trillions, trillions with a T. And in those trillions, some of those are bad and some of those are good. And when I say bad, I'm kind of saying pro-inflammatory. And when I say good, I'm thinking more anti-inflammatory. And the good gut bacteria actually help us break down our food and secrete some digestive enzymes. So they can do a lot of good for us. So I think of it kind of as a war, the good guys versus the bad guys in the gut. So what can you do to ensure that you have a good army of good gut bacteria living in your gut with the positive health benefits that they promote? Well, one way is you can eat probiotic rich foods. So probiotic rich foods are basically fermented foods. So things like sauerkraut, pickles, kombucha, kimchi. Um, these are fermented foods and they have probiotics in them. So when you're eating these foods, you're replenishing your gut with good gut bacteria. And the good news is the good guys help to push out the bad guys. And so this is a really great way to get good gut bacteria in your gut. Now, this has to be done rather regularly. I mean, not necessarily every single day, but you can't just eat a probiotic containing food, a fermented food once and call it a day, right? You have to do this repeatedly over time to get those bacteria to really take up shop and stay there. Now, another way you can fortify your good gut army in your gut is by taking a high quality probiotic. And when you're looking for a probiotic, one thing to look for is you really want to have at least 30 billion colony forming units in the probiotic. Anything less than that is not going to be all that helpful. Probably a little helpful, but not great. So 30 billion is kind of the cutoff for a good high quality probiotic. And just know that not all supplements are created equal. Supplements don't have to go through vigorous testing. They can choose to. And so you don't always know what you're getting when it comes to supplements. They did a big study where well, it wasn't a big study, it was a small study actually, where they looked at some supplements from some big box stores and they tested them. And many of them didn't have any live bacteria in them at the time of testing. So I can tell you the one that I take and my husband takes and my give to my kids too. We take this every single day is Daily Probiotic. You can find this in the shop at Best Life on my website, bestlifefunctionalmedicine.com. It contains 50 billion colony forming units of good gut bacteria in one tablet. Okay. So, and that is certified by the NSF. And that means at the day of expiration, there are 50 billion colony forming units of good gut bacteria in the one tablet. Now, what that also means is probably prior to expiration, probably a little bit more than 50 billion in there. So, a really, really strong, potent probiotic. Now, occasionally, if you really are having gut issues or you're really needing or wanting to fortify your good guy army, you could take a month or two of Hypo Probiotic, which is 100 billion colony forming units of good gut bacteria. So double the strength. Definitely overkill for long-term use, but taking that for a month or two per year can be a good way to really fortify your good gut army. The truth is, one of the root causes of many chronic diseases, like almost all chronic diseases that happen in our 40s and beyond, is inflammation. And one way we control inflammation is by getting our gut bacteria right. And one way we can easily accomplish that is by taking a high quality probiotic and or eating a lot of fermented foods.